recorded by MCTV, and we may take items from the action item list in a different order than they appear on the agenda. Just be respectful of the time of folks who are here in the audience. All right, so quickly, we'll just want to announce the Memorial Day Parade we have coming up. Michael, you want to just a quick rundown for the time people for that and where it's taking place?
Sure, just so folks know, Veterans Agent's done a great job putting the program together. The parade's at 11 o'clock. The parade starts at 10:30. 11 o'clock, we are speaking at Veterans Park. And for those early risers, we do visit all the cemeteries with the veterans, and we lay a wreath at all the monuments at each of the cemeteries. And then that gets us back to Library Plaza, where we kick off the parade at 10:30. We get to Veterans Park for 11 o'clock, and we go through a speaking program there.
Perfect. Thanks, Michael. And then also I'd like to announce that we're going to instruct Michael to reach out and invite the DPW to some upcoming meetings in the future. Maybe once a month we can get together and touch base on the emergency repairs, some work on Surf Avenue, things of that nature, and get together and try to improve cohesion and cooperation and communication, things of that nature too. So that's something hopefully we can get together down the road for some future meetings. All right, so we're going to tackle our first action item. So our appointments are at 6:40, 6:45, and 6:50 for the poll hearing, Corner Cafe and Green Harbor Golf Club. And unfortunately, we have to wait until the exact time before we can tackle those items for the appointments. But we'll start with action number 7. Lisa, if you wanted to give us a quick rundown on that item.
So the town voted to approve a bond of $3 million, but the DPW decided they only needed $2 million for right now. So we did borrow the $2 million, and the packet that you have that you have to read and sign is for the bond for the $2 million. And we got a pretty good rate right now, 3%. So I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah. Yes.
And Lynn, that's part of the joy of being clerk is you get to read these really long bond
I
things.
understand,
Yeah.
yes. It's like putting the backpack on the Virginian.
Yeah, exactly.
Or something like that.
I meant to bring you a bottle of water, but do you have any questions, Jim? Or comments?
Not on this, no.
What about you? Perfect.
Thank you.
This is the vote of the Board of Selectmen. I, the clerk of the Board of Selectmen of the town of Marshfield, Massachusetts, certify that a meeting of the board held May 16, 2022, of which meeting all members of the board were duly notified and at which a quorum was present. The following votes were unanimously passed, all of which appear upon the official record of the board in my custody. And now I'm putting the glasses on. Voted to approve the sale of $2 million at 3% general obligation bond anticipation notes, referred to as the notes, of the town dated May 20th, 2022, and payable July 22nd, 2022, to Piper Sandler and Company at par and accrued interest, if any, plus a premium of $2,660.00. Further voted that in connection with the marketing and sale of the notes, the preparation and distribution of a notice of sale and preliminary official statement dated May 6th, 2022, and a final official statement dated May 12th, 2022, each in such form as may be approved by the town treasurer, be and hereby are ratified, confirmed, approved, and adopted. Further voted that the town treasurer and the Board of Selectmen be and hereby are authorized to execute and deliver significant events disclosure undertaking in compliance with SEC Rule 15C 2-12 in such form as may be approved by bond counsel to the town, which undertaking shall be incorporated by reference in the notes for the benefit of the holders of the notes from time to time. Further voted that we authorize and direct the town treasurer to establish post-issuance federal tax compliance procedures and continuing disclosure procedures in such forms as the town treasurer and bond counsel deem sufficient, or if such procedures are currently in place, to review and update said procedures in order to monitor and maintain the tax-exempt status of the notes and to comply with relevant security laws. Further voted that any certificates or documents relating to the notes collectively, the documents may be executed in several counterparts, each of which shall be regarded as an original, and all of which shall constitute one and the same document. Delivery of an executed counterpart of a signature page to a document by electronic mail in a PDF file or by other electronic transmission shall be as effective as delivery of a manual executed in counterpart signature page to such document. And electronic signatures on any of the documents shall be deemed original signatures for the purpose of the documents and all matters relating thereto, having the same legal effect as original signatures. Further voted that each member of the Board of Selectmen, the town clerk, and the town treasurer be and hereby are authorized to take any and all such actions and execute and deliver such certificates, receipts, or other documents as may be determined by them, or any of them to be necessary or convenient to carry into effect the provisions of the foregoing votes. I further certify that the votes were taken at a meeting open to the public, that no vote was taken by secret ballot, that a notice stating the place, date, time, and agenda for the meeting, which agenda included the adoption of the above votes, was filed with the town clerk, and a copy thereof posted in a manner conspicuously visible to the public at all hours in or on the municipal building that the office of the town clerk is located, or if applicable, in accordance with an alternative method of notice prescribed or approved by the Attorney General as set forth in 940 CMR 29.03 2B, at least 48 hours, not including Saturdays, Sundays, and legal holidays, prior to the time of the meeting, and remain so posted at the time of the meeting that no deliberations or decision in connection with the sale of the notes were taken in executive session, all in accordance with General Law, Chapter 30A, 18-25, as amended. Today is May 16th, 2022, and I am the clerk of the Board of Selectmen.
Perfect, flawless.
Well done.
Nice.
How about that?
Yeah. Is that Marshfield education at work?
MHS, 1981.
Perfect. All right, Michael, did you want to give us the town administrator report?
Yes. Okay, week of May 2nd, my weekly call into WATD for a preview of our meeting. Had weekly meeting with PMA, our owner project manager, with Fred Russell, our facility director, to review the police and DPW police project dealing with furniture, move, scheduling, final painting, grouting, carpet, landscaping. DPW project dealing with pouring of the footings and foundation, underground conduit. Meeting with Nancy Bowers and Craig Jameson, director and assistant director of the rec department, to formulate an MOU with the Boys and Girls Club for use of the courts, and to discuss summer concerts. Going to have a summer concert at the Town Green and a children's concert at the Coast Guard Hill facility. Also got an update that the Kids at Play playground, the new slides are being installed that have been repaired, and the tire swing has been replaced and will be installed at the same time. Meeting with Danielle Kerrigan, our HR director, on some personnel issues, including benefit issues, personnel reviews, new employees, and update on COVID policy regarding sick time. Weekly owner and architect contractor meeting on the police project, review of final actions that must be completed before moving, including some final painting, some final landscaping, the solar array, some installation of utilities in the auxiliary building, and 911 will be installed, and we expect the police department to be in the building a little later than expected. It's trouble. We're having challenges like anyone else of trying to get supplies, so the police are looking right now to be in there on June 13th. So, 2 or 3 weeks later than expected, but it's better not to rush. Took a tour of Red Gold Farm project proposal, the Garrison Cranberry Bogs. Bill Grafton and Mike Seal, the assistant conservation administrator, took me over there for a tour of the facility. Had a meeting with the Anne Marie Senate assessor, drafting the pilot agreement for the fairgrounds regarding their solar project, bi-weekly meeting with the Bastille and our fire chief to review the fire overtime budget. Chief's been able to make the necessary adjustments to get the overtime budget under control. Meeting with Karen Paulette, our veterans agent, and assistant veterans agent Lisa, to review the Memorial Day schedule for graveside services, parade and speaking programs, and flags were put out in the graves this past Saturday. Meeting with Fred Russell, our facility director, to review ongoing maintenance issues between the town and schools. We've completed the painting outside of Town Hall. We're working on the Martinson roof project, playground repairs, roof projects on other municipal buildings, and capital project issues. Had the opportunity to participate in U.S. Senator Markey and Congressman Keating at the congressional hearing a week ago Friday that was held at the Plymouth Town Hall with Lieutenant Artie Shaw regarding Holtec and the closing of the Pilgrim Nuclear Power Plant, mainly to discuss the issue surrounding the dumping of 1 million gallons of potentially radioactive water into Cape Cod Bay and the future storage of nuclear waste. Breakfast meeting with Chairperson Darcy to review some ongoing issues around town. Week of May 9th, weekly meeting with PMA and Fred Russell to review project issues with police and DPW project. Fence posts were being installed to comply with conservation for wetland delineation. Substantial completion date, May 10th, moved to June 13th. Move into the police station has begun May 14th. This Saturday, we started moving in some equipment. We had an infrared report done to check the building. Happy to report no leaks and no moisture problems. Permanent generator was installed on the site, and personnel, including facilities, has begun training on all of the new utilities. DPW adjust their schedule for phasing of their building. This building has 4 phases, and Package Steel System expects the delivery of Section A and B around August 17th. Meeting with Andrew Stewart and Danielle Kerrigan regarding some personnel issues affecting him. We had a meeting on signalization at 985 Plain Street that involved the Martin property, DPW, and 985, which is the marijuana facility. It's about the meeting is to coordinate with all of the owners. The owner of the marijuana is using his own money, working with the state to have a traffic light installed, signalization at School Street and on that side. So we're moving ahead, and Attorney Steve Gard was there, and we'll hear more about that a little later. Participated in the NRC public hearing last Monday regarding their regulations. There were changes in the regulations done a number of years ago that allowed less public input, and hundreds of people showed up at Hotel 1620. I viewed the meeting via Zoom, and they're going to make some changes to allow greater public participation. Had a meeting at the Pratt Farm site location, 172 South River Street, with Andrew Stewart, our building commissioner, Bill Grafton, our conservation administrator, Mike Seal. We had Fred and his team there, along with Clancy Construction and Williams Contracting. We're doing the final cleanup. As folks know, we had to take the barn down. We were able to get someone to take the wood, so we wouldn't have to pay for it. They did the bulk of the cleanup. Now we're going to have to remove the cement platform that's there. We'll do some grading, so Fred's working with the Conservation Commission and the Building Department to get the necessary permits and to move that project along. Participated in Mayflower Municipal Health Group. Our health insurance has done well, getting us through COVID. Based on the 2021 audit, the Mayflower Municipal Health finished 2021 with $37 million in their healthcare reserve. Meeting with Select Person Lynn Fiddler to review some issues and logistics. Participated in a weekly OAC meeting at the police project, landscaping, exterior lighting, shade installation, furniture delivery, alarm setup, and final cleaning. Meeting with retired Fire Chief Bill Hawking and Todd Goodwin regarding clinic and testing. Discussed PRC testing to resume this Tuesday, which would be tomorrow, May 17. Press release has been sent out. A meeting with Lisa on Munis and Ian to get an update. We're on track. Meeting with Lisa and Ian on some OPED issues. I had DPW Weekly Building Committee meeting. We had some change orders, foundation installation, underground utility work to begin, septic system, gas line, and water line. Meeting with John Nash, our IT director, and Jay McGillis, the assistant, to discuss their request for ARPA funds to make improvements in the VPN and a number of other issues we'll hear later from them this evening. And a change in our phone service from MD Communication to East Coast Telecommunication effective the 1st of July. Had a walkthrough Friday on the police station for final walkthrough to identify a list of things that are going to need to be corrected. Talked to Andrew Stewart about launching floodplain permit. The goal is to launch that on Monday, the 23rd. I signed the geothermal study proposal with Matt Parent for the school complex. Update info from the select board on development issues on Jedediah Path. Had a working meeting with Conservation, Town Council, Administrator, Building Commission to work on some ongoing issues, and participated in the Cops for Kids with Cancer fundraiser, which was a great event. Working on Marshfield Housing Partnership information regarding foreclosures. We sent some stuff out and put it up on our website, as well as trying to get them to do some type of housing symposium with the Marshfield Housing Authority, South Shore Housing Habitat, and DHCD, and that's my report.
Perfect. And I think you have an exciting update with respect to the vaccination clinic and testing coming back.
Yes, so just very quickly, to date, we've given out, since we moved back to Town Hall, 772 shots have been given out to people.
Yep.
We have 65 people already scheduled, pre-scheduled for tomorrow, and we're back to doing the PCR test, which is the gold standard. If people are sick, they're watching tonight, they want to get a free PCR test, they pull up to the shed that says testing, a sign will be on it that says testing site. They do not come in the building because they're sick. We don't want them coming in the building. And to protect our workers, they should have a face mask on, and they'll get the test, and they'll be notified by email if they tested positive.
Okay, perfect. Jim, do you have any questions or comments on the...
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Lynn? Okay. And then, Michael, the long vote prepared by our bond counsel that Lynn read, do you need a motion and vote on that, or is it good as read?
You read it, and then did you vote? You need to...
Nope, I'll do that right
yeah.
now. So I'll just make a motion to approve the long vote prepared by our bond counsel and read by our clerk, Lynn Fiddler. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, so we got our poll hearing for Tracy's Path. I'll just read the public hearing notice. I think we have a rep here from the utility company, so... All right, so notice of public hearing in conformity with the requirements of Section 22 of Chapter 166 of the General Laws. You are hereby notified that a public hearing will be held at the Marshfield Town Hall, Selectmen's Hearing Room, 870 Marine Street, Marshfield, Mass. On the 16th day of May 2022 at 6:40 p.m. upon the petition of Horizon New England Inc. and NStar Electric Company, DBA Eversource Energy, dated April 25th, 2022, for permission to erect or construct in a location for a line of wires, poles, and such other fixtures as may be necessary to sustain or protect the wires of the line upon, along, across, or under the following public ways of said town, Marshfield, signed by the select board for the town of Marshfield. So, do you want a quick rundown on Tracy's Path, and we'll let you get home for dinner?
Well, you want me to give a quick rundown?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, all right, so this is for a existing service, looks like they're relocating it.
Yep.
Probably added an addition or something, and just added to. The actual service is on 2 Carolina Trail.
Yep.
So, just gonna run it down Tracy's Path and across, and that's why permission from the town to cut into the street.
Awesome, thank you. Jim, do you have any questions or comments?
I do not. We've been doing a lot of polls lately.
We sure have been, yep.
Well, this is actually underground.
Underground.
Yeah.
This is underground.
Underground.
Oh, I missed that
Underground
part.
through a handhole.
Even better.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, so I can sit down.
You may.
There you go. Did you have any questions or comments, Lynn?
I'm all set.
All right, so I'll make a motion to approve the, what do we do, the poll hearing? Here I am, page 1. All right, so I will make a motion to grant permission to Horizon New England Inc. and NStar Electric, DBA Eversource Energy, to locate underground cables, conduits, manholes, including the necessary sustaining and protecting fixtures in, under, along, and across the following public ways or ways, Tracy's Path. Said underground cables, conduit, and manholes to be installed substantially in accordance with the plan filed herewith marked plan number 7978719, dated April 16th, 2022. This new equipment is necessary to relocate the existing electric service for 2 Caroline Trail. Is there a second?
We'll second that.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. Awesome.
Thank you very much. Home
Thank
for
you.
dinner.
Good luck.
Good job.
Have a great night.
Take care.
All right, so next up, we have our 6:45 for the Corner Cafe. Attorney Styles, are you here for that?
I am.
Perfect.
I am. Mark Stiles of Stiles Law. Honored to once again be here representing the folks of Corner Cafe and the Cairns family. As you know, we had a previous hearing for the all-year beer and wine, and we're here to follow up with the seasonal all liquor. I have all of the green cards here. If I could get
Yeah.
those to Bev, maybe.
I'll just go through the public hearing notice real quick and then
Yeah.
give you the
Great.
floor.
Thanks.
Perfect. All right, so notice is hereby given under Chapter 138 of Massachusetts General Laws as amended that there will be a public hearing on Monday, May 16th, 2022 at 6:45 p.m. in the Selectmen's Hearing Room, Marshfield Town Hall, 870 Moraine Street, Marshfield, 02050, on the application for a new seasonal all-alcohol restaurant license and entertainment license from Eastside Food Services, Inc., DBA The Corner Cafe. William Kearns III is manager. Premises located at 2000 Ocean Street, Marshfield, Mass. 02050. Premises described as 2 floors with first floor restaurant, 2,065 square feet, consisting of dining room, bar area, kitchen, walk-in cooler, 2 restrooms plus 1 staff restroom. Second floor for office and staff only. The Marshfield License Authority, the Select Board. And Mark, you left out the co-host of the Dr. Joe Show on your resume.
Yeah. No. So we're here to fulfill what we had a deficiency with the omission of our notice last time. We're here to have the full seasonal liquor license as well as the annual beer and wine.
Yeah, so we gave you the entertainment about a month ago, beer and wine. I don't see why we'd say no to the liquor license, seasonal. So I have no questions to you, Jim.
Cool.
No, I think, I know it was just kind of an oversight and a mix-up. The building looks great. It looks like it was almost
Great,
part
right?
of the original 1600s building. Whoever did that, nice job.
Give them the credit. The Cairns family is in it.
It looks really nice as well as the food's great, so.
It's great.
Nice. Actually, I do have one question. What are you guys planning to charge for an Irish coffee?
Oh, we can't disclose that.
Wait to see how we vote first. Lynn, do you have any questions or comments?
I do not have any comments or questions.
All right, perfect. All right, so I will make a motion to approve the application for a new seasonal all-alcohol license for Eastside Food Services, Inc., DBA The Corner Cafe, William Kearns III, manager, premise located at 2000 Ocean Street, hours operation Monday through Sunday, 8 a.m. till 10 p.m., pending approval by the Marshfield Police Department, the Marshfield Fire Department, the Building Department, and the Board of Health. Is there a second?
I will second that.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Perfect.
Thank you all very
Thanks.
much.
Appreciate it. All right, so now we're on to our 6:50 appointment for Green Harbor, and this will be the third and final public hearing notice I have to read. So notice is hereby given under Chapter 138 of the Massachusetts General Laws as amended that the Select Board will hold a public hearing on Monday, May 16th, 2022 at 6:50 p.m. in the Selectmen's Hearing Room, Marshfield Town Hall, 870 Moraine Street, Marshfield, Mass. on the application for alteration of premises for Manuel Francis and Son, Inc., DBA Green Harbor Golf Club, Manuel Francis Jr. Manager. Premises located at 624 Webster Street, Marshfield, Mass. 02050, and described as lounge pro shop, tournament room, first tee area, and cellar storage. 3 doors open out of the building at front. 1 door opens out of the building at the side. The alteration of premises to include additionally clubhouse deck, outdoor patio, driving range / lounge area consisting of 16 tee bays, a maximum of 6 persons per tee bay, and beverage cart service on the entire golf course premises to be dispensed at 3 primary locations as follows: the intersection of holes 3, 6, and 7, the intersection of holes 11, 14, and 15, and the intersection of holes 13, 16, and 17. All right. So you guys want to walk us through kind of the game plan for the area and what you guys are asking for?
Sure, thank you very much. Sorry for the verbosity. It took me probably an hour to figure out how to write that in
Yeah.
a succinct manner. My name's Jeff DeLisi. I'm with the law firm Arnberger, DeLisi and Harris. I'm here with my client. My clients are the Francis family. To my right is John Harrington. He's part of the management, and he is the husband of Carrie Francis. Carrie's remoting in, and we also have Manny Francis with us tonight in the audience. So essentially, we're proud to be able to come before the Select Board today. We've been able to keep the course open for many decades, as you all are aware, since the 1970s. The last 10 years have been very difficult for the management of the golf course, which is consistent with many other courses throughout the nation. The bottom line is the business of golf has gotten a little more difficult. And so the Francis family, in order to promote the course and continue to bring this multi-generational business to the community, has made some changes to the business plan, invested a good deal of capital into the property. Last year, we were in front of the Board of Selectmen for a site plan approval. Most recently, Andrew Stewart, the building inspector, issued a occupancy permit which certifies the use of, in particular, a new driving range facility that was constructed recently and has opened up to the public recently. State-of-the-art facility. Specifically, it has 16 golf bays which are designed to kind of facilitate golf in more of a social setting, almost like bowling alleys or something to that effect, where you have areas where people can sit and eat and drink and socialize, hit a bucket of balls and move on. So it's very exciting, to say the least. Right now, we have a liquor license. The first sentence or first two sentences that you read tonight are the existing license, which essentially says that the liquor license premises is the clubhouse facility, the area of the first tee box. And essentially, what has happened over the course of the last few years during the COVID, we've been able to serve, with your permission, on the deck and on a newly constructed patio in the area of the first tee box. The way we're viewing this application is the description of the licensed premises was constructed many, many decades ago. And the course has, it's kind of a broad term when it says the area of the first tee box. So what we decided to do, since we're bringing the driving range into the fold, is kind of catch up and make sure that the language is more specific as to where the liquor license premises is. So the changes that we're proposing really are something that we believe that we actually already have the right to do, because most of the activities are in the area of the first tee box.
Yep.
But what we're adding is a description which includes the deck, a description which includes the patio, a description which includes the driving range facility, and then we're proposing beverage service on the course. We took a look at the ABCC guidelines concerning golf courses in anticipation of this hearing. We were careful to craft our language so that we are proposing to do it at specific locations, 3 specific locations on the golf course where some of the holes intersect. The good thing with this golf course is you don't have to pass or go through any public ways, which can cause some complications in alcohol service. So everything is kind of contained, or is contained, within the premises itself. So that's really the nut and bolts. In the last 50 years that we have had a liquor license on this premises, there has not been a single infraction that's been brought to this board, not one. And that's a testament to the Class A style of this Marshfield family business, and we're happy to bring it to the next level and continue to support the community. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff.
Yep.
All right, so first what we'll do is we'll go through the board with any comments or questions that I know there are folks in the audience who I think want to give some feedback, so we'll go to you guys next. My own questions that have your questions and comments directed through me, and we'll certainly get to them and try to address them. So, Jeff, I guess my first question for you would be, I know that some of the neighbors are concerned about some noise coming through. So in your experience, are there things that you guys could do to help mitigate the noise, either things to break up the line of sight or plantings to absorb the sound and things of that nature, or would you guys be open to kind of going down that road?
Yeah, so I actually had a fairly lengthy conversation on Friday with one of the abutters who's expressed in particular a concern about the noise. The facility itself, the driving range facility, I don't think that there's ever been any noise issues or complaints with respect to the clubhouse or the patio. But with respect to the driving range facility, it's orientated in such a fashion so that the open portion of it is out in towards the golf course. We don't expect that there would be any particular issue with respect to noise of the operation itself. Some of the concerns that were raised to me about noise really had to do with deliveries and things of that nature, which is something that has been, we've been dealing with for quite some time. The bottom line is we're more than happy to sit with our neighbors and be good neighbors and figure out solutions to issues. But my viewpoint on the issue of noise is that that's more of a site plan type of
ZBA.
scenario. This has already gone through site plan. So really, I kind of, in my mind, am segmenting this on the liquor license, but in particular, of course, we're happy to sit. I offered that already. I know the members of the club have already spoken. In the summer months, which would be the most intense use, so to speak, of this particular use, we're going to have full vegetation on the trees and so forth. So that'd be pretty much my answer.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff.
Yep.
And I know you're very experienced with this stuff, so would you say like trees are usually the best sound absorber, or what would you think are the best kind of mitigation techniques?
Well, typically if I were going in front of a ZBA and we're anticipating a sound issue or a noise issue,
Yep.
a couple of things that I would do would be I'd probably hire an acoustical expert. I have done that in the past.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's appropriate here, but we've done that, and what I have learned is the best, most effective way to deal with noise from a structure is a physical barrier. And so as I was preparing for this hearing today, we talked about the fact that we already have insulation in the building. And again, the building is going to be orientated such that the sound is going in a different direction, and that's what you want. Any sound barrier, so to speak, is just going to bounce sound off back in the direction it came from. And we essentially view this as our building is already doing that.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yep.
Jim, did you have any questions or comments?
No, I'd like to see if anyone has any comments here or
Yeah.
in the public.
Yeah.
Before I make any additions to that.
Probably, I'm pretty,
You feel the same way?
yeah, I think the ZBA, I was part of that, so I'd like to hear what the public has to say.
Sure. Okay.
Okay,
Come back.
yeah.
Okay, and circle back. All right,
Yeah.
so anyone in the audience looking to give some input, want to raise their hand? Okay, yep, so we'll go you and then Sherry.
My daughter lives 300 feet from the golf course. I can hear car doors slamming, I can hear people talking. I've never complained because it's ended at dusk. But if this is gonna go at night with people drinking and music playing, it's gonna be a huge noise issue. It's unacceptable. You could put evergreen trees that would block a lot of the noise. As it is now, I can see the whole thing. Even with a full tree cover, I can see the whole thing. It's not gonna mitigate any noise.
Okay,
Sir, can I ask his name and your address?
Todd Alvey,
Thank you, Todd.
12 Fresh Brook Way.
all right, Jeff, did you want to comment on that? And then Sherry, we'll go to you.
I think I've already commented.
Sure.
Again, we would be open. I think Mr. Alvey had indicated evergreen trees might be helpful, and we're certainly willing to do that.
Yeah, so would you be happier with an evergreen tree kind of breaking up the line of sight and helping with some noise mitigation?
I don't care about the line of sight, it's the noise.
Okay. But you're saying an evergreen tree would be something you would be satisfied with?
Well, it's either that or move the building.
Okay. All right, Sherry, did you want to give some feedback?
Sherry Costello, 9 Fresh Brook Way. First of all, I've lived over there for almost 30 years, and Green Harbor Golf Course has been an excellent neighbor. We love them. They're awesome. We can hear, but it's not offensive. It's great. We love having them there. That said, this is a change for us. This is completely new. I'm not sure. Oh, by the way, the additions look great. All your alterations look fabulous, it's beautiful. All that said, we're concerned about noise, okay? So, my first question, I don't know whether or not this is an appropriate venue for it, but, you know, we've only received one notice we received 2 letters, okay? The letter that we received last year, which I'm trying to get a copy of, because I threw it away, because I looked at it and thought, they're building a driving range, fantastic, that's great. You know, did it outline the change in use? Because I think that's really important here, that this has gone now from a golf club, it sounds like, to a recreational facility. You know, the hours of operation are important. You've got 16 T-bays there. According to the notice, they're going to house a maximum of 6 people per bay. Well, I was there one night last week, and it was great. But, you know, they had about 14 people in one bay, and every single bay had people in it, or not every single bay, but there were people up along the bay, up in all the bays, and, you know, they were being served alcohol and food as well. So, it's open on the back side. It is open on Freshbrook Way, you know, from Freshbrook Way and Webster Street. You can see there, I mean, maybe they're rolled out, you know, I'm not sure what the appropriate name is, but they may be rolling garage doors, but they're open. We saw them tonight, open from Freshbrook Way, okay? So, you know, I don't know when the change of use occurred, like how that, I know there's a liquor license that's been in place for a long time, but this isn't just about an establishment that houses, you know, 40, 50 people. Now you've got, according to the maximum of 6 people, 96 people in those 16 bays, a patio that seats 42 people, and another area that I think can house about 30 people. We're talking about, and from when I was there is a potential to have a couple of hundred people there. So, what are we going to do about noise? What are the hours? Should it be, I mean, I was told that it was until, they were going to be open until 10 o'clock at night, with the last bucket of balls being delivered until at 9:30, and then, you know, people would still be drinking, okay? So that does create an issue. It's a residential zone. It's an R2 zone. It's not a business zone. How did this get into being, you know, now we've got recreation, entertainment, and you know, entertainment is another issue. Will there be entertainment? Somebody mentioned that they have to have an entertainment license. Well, I think I found online that the entertainment license was issued in December of 2020 when the liquor license was renewed. So, you know, now will there be, are they going to have venue, functions? You know, what else, you know, what's coming our way? I think we have to have some kind of a cap on hours and again, noise mitigation. We are not against the improvements. We are not against a driving range. Please understand that. We really enjoy having them as neighbors. But I hope that they understand we have been your neighbors for a long time. We bought in a residential zone, and now it's changing the dynamic. And we really need to have something, like we have to have something in place. And my complaints the other day about, my concerns were about future noise issues. Right now, I think the only complaint I ever had last year during construction when I called, it was immediate. It was taken care of right away. It was the work that, you know, it doesn't matter. It was taken care of right away. We do have deliveries to the middle of the night. I was awoken the other night around 4:10 a.m. to big bangs. And so, yeah, you can, you know,
hear them the whole way.
I mean, I know deliveries probably have to happen early, and we understand the mowers are early, but some consideration.
Sure. So do you guys want to speak to kind of the hours of operation, your plans for functions, and how late they'll go to and things of that nature?
Sure. You want to address that,
Sure.
John?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, thank you for everything that you articulated. And I, on behalf of the family, I just want to make it really clear that our intention is to carry on the family tradition of a family-friendly establishment. We have always operated that way. It's in our mission statement. And if you see those bays today, it's an exciting moment to see how many young faces are in there, how many kids are enjoying themselves there. And so, first and foremost, that's our intention. And We have no desire or interest to create a nightclub or to create a venue for the evening. This is a place where you can bring your family. You can have a 70th birthday party and a 7-year-old birthday party in the same place. As far as the bays are concerned, that function that you spoke of, we put 3 or 4 together because we imagine we're going to have outings like that. We're going to have team building opportunities for businesses to come in and enjoy this bucolic setting, this nice evening venue, under the same kind of rules that we've been operating for our entire existence. So the one thing I would say is the greatest predictor of the future is our previous behavior. In the last 3 years, we have had outdoor seating. We have had our liquor license to 1 o'clock, and we have never exercised that or abused that. We've had numerous outings and occasions and entertainment, as you mentioned, and I think we've been very respectful of the fact that we haven't had a zero complaint would indicate that we've been respectful of that. I will also say, just to make sure it allowed, our intention is not to be the place where you end your evening. This is a venue where you come for dinner with your family, and then if you want to go to, there's plenty of places that do it much better than we ever will. That's not our intention, is to have entertainment outside. We have, as I said in the past, we've had very successful outings and events inside of our clubhouse, and that's where we've restricted. The outside is designed for that setting. So as far as the hours are concerned, it's basically looking at our target audience is going to be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the people coming home from work. So in order for us to facilitate that last seating has to be somewhere around 7:30 or 8 o'clock. Our expectation is, as we said, last bucket, lights are out at 10 o'clock. That's our goal. That's what we have asked for in the town. That was our intention. But that is, it's unknown at the moment what that will look like. But that's our view of it, is to maintain the integrity and the honesty and really the character of who we've always been as a family-friendly restaurant and facility that's building something beautiful for the town of Marshfield. It's benefit.
So,
If I may, with all due respect, those hours are what concerns me. Okay, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday until 10 o'clock is just too late. You've got families that live, it's a peaceful neighborhood, and
Understood.
it's about to be completely changed.
Well,
And- Sure, go ahead.
I would say that, yes, although for the last 3 years, through all of COVID, we have been operating outside on
But
the
you
deck.
haven't-
We haven't been
driving range
in that,
for 16
correct,
days, and
correct.
that's what
But
the
we've had,
concern
yeah, so,
is.
our previous experience is that we've been very respectful to the neighbors, we've been very careful about the outdoor seating area, and so the fact that the noise has been managed, that's the only thing, and again, we're willing to work with you on the sound issues, but let me say one other thing. What we said in our preamble is that golf business has changed. In the last 10 years, 800 golf courses have gone out of business. They've gone bankrupt. We were also facing that kind of uncertainty. We made a family decision that we needed to invest in this property to be competitive and to also sustain this business 50 years in the future. In that last 10 years, 2,300 driving ranges opened. So the whole industry has shifted. This is where the market is going. This is where an opportunity for us to build the farm system for golf and to build the junior golf program, which we are so fortunate to be able to develop, but it's necessary for us to survive. A lot of our abutters that we speak to are really happy about this program because they're concerned what happens in the face of a bankruptcy. What happens if we lose that property? What does it become? What does that beautiful, maintained facility look like for the abutters? So I think we both have the same objective. We want to stay in business for 50 years. We want to survive and thrive. We want to continue to provide a tremendous tax base for the town and employing hundreds and hundreds of people and kids in this town. So we want to do the same thing, and under some harmonious way. There's a way that we can coexist. And I understand the noise. We have that same concern. I'm happy to discuss how to address that. But restricting it to 10 takes away our opportunity to autonomously run our business.
Yeah, and I think what we can do too is outside of this meeting, I'm happy to sit down with everyone and get together and talk about what we can do for noise. But we'll let Jeff respond, and then we'll go to Donna, because I think Donna has some feedback and a question.
thank
We'll go
you.
to Jeff first, and then Donna.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That's a great offer, and we welcome that. I asked John to speak because I knew he would be able to speak much better than I ever could about this. Just on the legal issues, without getting too much into legalities, number one, what is clear in the law is that you can't, as a liquor license permit granting authority, cannot limit the hours to a time frame prior to 11 p.m. The state won't allow it. So that's number one. We don't plan on doing that, but limiting the hours prior to 11 is not something that the state will allow. On the issue of use, I kind of touched upon it in my opening. The zoning bylaw contains a provision which says that when the building inspector issues a occupancy permit, he's certifying not only that the building meets the building code, but he's certifying that the use is allowed and that the zoning bylaw is being followed. He has done that, and there have been hearings of whether, I can't say whether any particular individual received notice, but I can say that my clients have done everything that they're required to do as far as sending notices are out. I know that things are published locally, whether it be on the website or here in town hall or in the newspaper. Folks had an opportunity to address these types of issues. And so I'm kind of dancing around the concept of making certain that we are being respectful to our community on the one hand, and on the other hand also recognizing the legality of this, which is that the use question is over. The site plan question is over. Those matters are done. And so what we're talking about here is a liquor license, and these issues of noise, if you were to say, we deny your liquor license, and if the ABCC were to approve that denial, what would in all likelihood happen is the noise won't go away, because we have a building and we're going to use it. So either way, the key here is making sure that the community has good communication with the golf club. I spoke with Sherry, and just like you, I offered to facilitate that conversation and to work with the community on it. It's not an ideal scenario when hundreds of green cards go out in the mail and people have to hear about this essentially for the first time. So this is a process. We're beginning the process, and we're going to continue to tweak it and work with it to make it as best as we can.
Yep. All right, so we're going to go to Donna, and then we're going to wrap it up. Okay.
So I'll be quick. I just,
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, 1 second. So just for publicly, we need you to state your name and your address, please.
Yes, Donna again, 10 Freshbrook Way.
Thank you.
So just to start out, you know what, I think all of us on Freshbrook Way are excited for you, happy for you, business, family business, and appreciate that. I think the only concern that we have, and laws be laws, you can mention all the laws that you want. Sure. We're asking that if there's a way, if you have a function, that if it's inside rather than outside. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's possible, mm-hmm. but I think the concern for 12 of our family homes on Freshbrook Way, I think, as Todd said, 300 feet from his house is where, we have visual, and I can hear them hit the ball, and I can hear them talk, and I think it's great, and we welcome it. And again, that's why we bought there. But I think, laws aside, I think it's really important for us to have a conversation about if there's a way for you to be mindful that if there's a function, you said it for a 7-year-old or a 70-year-old, and right. That can be different, right? Sure. Screaming kids or drunk hoo-ha, but we just want you to be mindful of that. I think that's what we're asking.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah, of course. Guys, we're going to move on. I think your points about concerns about the noise and mitigation have been well heard, and we can kind of continue this conversation separately in another meeting outside of this. This is not the end of the road, right? We have noise ordinances and things of that nature to deal with this, and we can always call them back before us again if we feel like they're not being good faith actors and good neighbors. That's something we've done before with other businesses before. But I think, as you said earlier, the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. So we trust you guys to continue to be good neighbors, but if you're not, we'll call you guys before us again, right? It's not the end of the road tonight. So with that, I'm gonna move forward and make a motion to approve the application.
Mr. Chairman, if we could just circle back,
Yep.
that's great. So I understand both from the Green Harbor business perspective, I understand the business has changed. And it's kind of sometimes in business, adapt or not survive. I also understand that we have, concerned citizens here that live in close proximity to the business and want to kind of maintain their way of life, and everything I've heard them say here is that they want you to be successful. But they just want you to be respectful of working together and coexisting peacefully. I don't see anything on either side here that would cause that not to happen, from what I can see here. I see both sides wanting to work together, so I applaud the people for coming in, as well as yourself. I think what we have in front of us basically is a liquor license. So we don't have noise in front of us, we don't have design anymore in front of us. And we have a certified building commissioner that said they've met those at this time. So that's kind of all I have to say, Mr. Chairman. So I look forward to you working well together, the business doing well, and the neighborhood being respected. Thank you.
Do you have anything you wanted to add, Lynn?
Yeah, I mean, I am applauding the project on the surface. Yeah, I know you're in the infancy of this endeavor, so, and I know there's a lot that has gone into this at this point. So I think that if Andrew has you as this permit being in compliance, and you're good to go with that, I think that you're good to go with that. So, and I would agree with Jim that this is a liquor license. If there becomes an issue that the decision that was written from the ZBA is not in compliance, the ZBA will be informed of that, and modifications to that permit will be made, and you'll be informed. But at this point, I'm looking forward to working with the neighbors and getting this up and running and see how it goes, so.
Yeah, and if you guys are free in the next week or two to sit down and get together with the neighbors and us, if we can get that scheduled, Michael, because you have his information and Jeff and all you guys. So we'll all sit down together in the next week or two and see what we can do and address your concerns. All right, so with that, I'll make a motion to approve the application for alteration of premises for Manuel Francis & Son, Inc., DBA Green Harbor Golf Club, Manuel Francis Jr. Manager, premise located at 624 Webster Street. The alteration of premise to include additionally clubhouse deck, outdoor patio, driving range / lounge area consisting of 16 tee bays, a maximum of 6 persons per tee bay, and beverage cart service on the entire golf course premise to be dispensed at 3 primary locations as follows: the intersections of holes 3, 6, and 7, the intersection of holes 11, 14, and 15, and the intersection of holes 13, 16, and 17, pending approval by the Marshfield Police Department, the Building Department, the Marshfield Fire Department, and the Board of Health. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right, all's in favor? Aye. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks,
And
guys.
we will be getting in touch with you. Thanks.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you, Jeff.
Yep. I have this, I don't know, it's one straggler of like 200.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff.
Right.
All right, Steve, welcome back. We'll tackle you next with
Sorry I stepped out. I'm sure that the presentation was eloquent as usual. Knowing my colleague, Mr. Delisi.
well,
We do this all the time. I know he doesn't really.
Not true. That's not true at all. Which one do you want first, Mr. Chairman?
let's start with how about number 6? We'll respect Mr. Baraki's timing.
You've got it.
You're welcome.
All right. So, on April 22nd, 2022, you received a letter from Diane Tillotson, a lawyer that also works with VRT. By the way, Attorney Steve Gard. Want to wait? Yeah. Go ahead.
Excuse me, I'm really sorry. Excuse me.
Peter,
We have a hearing going
I
on.
could move your conversation outside, thank you, okay.
Why don't I start? I was being a bit presumptuous as well. So, Attorney Steve Gard for VRT Corporation with offices at 1165 Washington Street in Hanover, Gard Law, LLC. So this evening, we are here before you to ask for your permission to prepare a document that would be a right-of-way relocation agreement. You have in your packet a letter from an attorney named Diane Tillotson, who has done an extensive historic title search. Mike brought the big plan, but we're going to work from the little ones, in case anyone else would like to see, but we're going to work from the little one. If you,
Do we
now-
have one? The little one in this?
did you get this one here, the blue, with the blue on it?
I don't.
Yeah, it should be, see the little tab number 6?
All right.
That's what it'll be for you.
If you don't have it, I can certainly
I
circulate
don't
mine and do it by
have
memory.
I'm in tab
Sure.
6 and I don't have it.
Yeah, it wasn't in with the letter.
Pink.
That's
Oh, it
why I had
wasn't?
the-
Oh,
That's
I'm
why I
sorry.
had the big map done.
Awesome.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Mike.
The big
Thanks, guys.
So for the public record,
Need my
the-
other glasses for
Yeah.
that.
So, for the public record, this involves Assessor's Lot Number E09-01-15, recently dubbed, he took me, I think, 53 Commerce Way?
51.
51 Commerce Way.
Yeah.
So there's a right-of-way that existed long before we created Proprietors Drive and Commerce Way that kind of wound its way through the woods that connected from, basically cut across the corner between Proprietors Way and Commerce Way. The right-of-way, as a result of the extensive historical title search, there were found to be only two parties with interest in the right-of-way, the town of Marshfield and VRT Corporation. The right-of-way was essentially replaced by Proprietors Drive and Commerce Way, the corner, the two roads that VRT constructed in 2005 as a result of a modified definitive subdivision plan that was approved and recorded by the town. The right-of-way itself is not in use. To say it's a paper street is probably an exaggeration. It's a small sort of path that's shown on the plan.
Yeah.
From historical times, but it is, and rather than have the town just simply abandon the right-of-way, which would require a town meeting vote, and because it's the relinquish of an interest in a piece of real estate, Attorney Galvin suggested that we relocate it.
Yep.
So the proposal is to just simply relocate the right-of-way along the property line of VRT, which also abuts the town ball fields, and just connect it to where it already exists as it connects to Commerce Way. So it's done quite frequently, actually. I've actually done this several times in Situate, with not involving the town land, but I've been able to do it pretty successfully. It's not a big deal. It's not in use. It's really never been in use because there's obviously public access to the areas that we're talking about.
Awesome. Yeah, it seems pretty straightforward and,
Yeah.
not controversial at all. So I don't have any questions for you, Steve. Do you have any questions, Jim?
No, so I read about this, Attorney Gotcha, so if you can just help me. So
Yeah.
I'm going to give this to you as well.
Sure.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a little bigger for us, so
Yep,
this to.
yep, I just kind of did my little thing here.
Yeah.
Just a quick one. And I know that I read about this, it's sort of like those two interested parties, and now the same party owns the second one, so really that's dissolved.
Yeah.
So that makes total sense. Are there any conservation or zoning or anything like that issues down there? I know there's a Coldwater Brook there, somewhere back there.
Very good question.
Not in the area of the relocation, though.
Yeah.
There's no wetlands or anything like that.
Right.
That was my
All
question.
uplands up there. The dirt is incredibly, drains really well, all that stuff. But, and again, this is a paper movement, but agreed that moving it into a wetland would not be beneficial to the benefited party, but that's not the case here at all.
Mr. Chairman, I have no further comments.
Okay. Lynn?
And it's just continuing at 20 feet.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yep.
okay, yeah, makes sense.
Awesome.
Okay,
And what we would do, so procedurally from here, you vote to approve, authorize a representative of the board to enter into the right-of-way relocation agreement, then I will begin to prepare the agreement, get it to Bob, we'll get a consensus, and then you guys can sign off, and we'll get it recorded at the Registry of Deeds with a sketch plan that just shows the new location.
Awesome. That sounds great. All right, so the board moves to approve the relocation of the right-of-way as shown on Enterprise Park Modified Definitive Subdivision. Note, the proposed relocation shifts the right-of-way from one side of the VRT lot noted on the attached sketch as E09-01-15 to the outside portion of the lot and makes no other changes to the right-of-way. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
aye.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks,
Beautiful.
Steve. All right, here we go.
Stick around for number 2, or do you want me to?
Yeah, stick around. Yeah,
didn't know if someone else
we'll do it
needed
right
to
now. No, go ahead. It's number
where are we going?
16. Yeah, here we go.
There we go. So number
thank you,
16, and I'm probably going to go back over some things that I think you remember, Steve, but I don't think Jim and Lynn were on the board at the time I presented this before. So This, we all know, is the infamous signalized intersection plan for the School Street where it intersects Plain Street. So in this plan that I've just handed out to you is a little color-coded plan. It shows the proposed layout. It also incorporates the what we're calling the Lone Street connector, which allows people from Lone Street exiting across the back of the 985 Plain Street property and then connecting to the signalized intersection, as well as relocating the DPW's driveway to the signal. And then, of course, the Martin land out back also has a driveway that's coming down. So consolidating all these driveways to one spot is going to be essentially required by the Mass DOT anyway to put the light, for us to get allowed to put the light in. So that's a good segue into giving you a little update of where we are on that process. So we're pleased to announce that we are at the 75% level for Mass DOT approval for the light, which I think is actually pretty good because generally speaking it goes in percentages, how they rate you. They send out the sheets and they rate you. Usually from 25 to 75 requires all the town approvals, but we've gotten to 75 based on the plan and they've granted us that. So the last sort of bits here we have is to get the site plan approved by the Zoning Board of Appeals for the signal, in the reconfiguration in a planning board subdivision plan, so we can redivide the lots. So essentially, I guess I'll go over quickly what I'm asking you to do tonight is not really to agree to all these swaps and easements, just to authorize me, because the town owns a big chunk of this land, to file the plans so that we can get the permitting process going. And then, but I would like to just briefly explain to you the underlying theory between how this is going to work.
Yeah.
So if you look at the red, obviously the red cul-de-sac that goes all the way to the back, and then the red that cuts across from Lone Street to what I'm going to call the signal approach line, right? So it's contemplated, obviously, those will eventually at some point become public ways so that you'll be able to, open to the public, maintained by the town. There'll be brand new streets that will allow this connector from Lone Street over to the signal without an entry. Now, the green portion there is, that's the Martin land that is going to eventually become town land. That is going to go through our client back to the town, gifted. There's no cost in that. So that's that little piece. The other red driveways, one is the relocation of the DPW driveway, and then the other one is going to be a quirk access to the light as well across town land. Those will be established via easements. In the beginning, they'll be established via licenses, which will ask the selectmen to grant licenses or use rights in the road. And then when we get to town meeting, once they're established, we'll get the approval to grant easements so that everybody will have access. I don't anticipate those becoming public ways, just driveway easements so that they connect. And then there is also another little easement that will go across the town land down by the light that'll connect 985 Plain Street also to the light. So, again, for tonight's purposes, so that's kind of a summary of where, and then there's some land swaps with the Martin family to do that. We have a consensus on this plan from the town. The DPW, I presented this plan at a public meeting quite a while ago at the DPW. They were in favor of this. It has been vetted by Rod and Tom. They had their comments. We adjusted things on their behalf. And of course, they're going to see it again before we file. So if there's any last minute things they want to tweak, we can certainly put that in there. And then of course 985 has seen it and the Martin family have seen it. So we are at a point where it's almost time to file. So, and we just, I don't feel, I always, Lynn knows and Jim knows that, when an applicant comes before a board with a piece of land that's part of an application for whatever it is, whether it's an NOI or a site plan, you've got to get all the landowners involved and they have to approve. It's filing. So, and you're one of them.
Yeah.
So you're the big one.
Yes.
So.
And how are we looking on the paperwork signature front with the Martin family at this point in time?
We're doing really good. In fact, I think it's going to be fine.
Okay.
My understanding is that I've spoken to both attorneys and that it's going to be fine. They're going to paper it up and work out some wrinkles, but they have had a consensus on the plan that's before you tonight. There's no changes to that, no modifications. So
excellent.
I would have liked to have had a written document, but I was away last week for a few days, and I just spoke to them today to confirm that I was authorized to represent to you that they are essentially in agreement.
Excellent. Okay.
But, I'm a lawyer.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever done until it's signed. So.
Yeah, exactly.
But they are, yeah. I wouldn't represent to you, I probably wouldn't have come if I thought they were too far off, you know, it wasn't gonna work, so.
Yeah, we appreciate that too.
Yeah, and we, yeah, so.
Yeah, I think it'll be a big public safety improvement. I think you mentioned before, Steve, that there have been 3 deaths, motor vehicle deaths.
Have. Our traffic study, when we did 985, showed 3 deaths since, I think it was like 2005. It hasn't been a long time, but there's been some serious accidents there. I think the big challenge for this little area here is that it's this Lone Street is coming out, and these driveways for Martin and for the DPW. Remember, that was Republic Waste, then you've got Industrial Communications, and then you got the Martin trucks. It's all giant trucks trying to get out on this road, and the road bends the wrong way for big trucks.
Yeah.
And they can't see down, they can't see around the corner, you know how, they just can't see out the window. So I think this is a tremendously great thing for the town. And the town's wanted it since 2005, I think it is, when they really first vetted that out when I think it was the widening or the permitting for the 139 widening. And then there was just a couple of times when it just didn't get pulled off. Like I said, the infrastructure for this light is already underground. I'm not saying the wire's out, but the conduits and the manholes and all that stuff is already in place in the road. So there'll obviously be plenty of surface construction and then to create the intersection, and then there'll be underground. But I don't think there's gonna be a ton of digging in the road but I'm not the contractor for that, but it's exciting to know that, you know, that somebody had the forethought to put all that stuff in. This needs to have an intersection.
Yeah.
So, but you're 100% right, Steve, that it's a really dangerous thing. Like, I have to admit, I'm talking to I mentioned to Dan Quirk, you know, hey, would you like to connect to this light? He said, which one? I said, 955, the Kia dealership. And he goes, you know, last week I was down there. I said, I should have packed a lunch trying to get out on that road. That's what he said to me on the phone. He's like, I should have packed a lunch. He goes, of course I'd like to connect, have, you know, customers. And so it won't be a way in for customers getting there because they'll be past the light, but a way out for sure.
Definitely.
They'll be able to push them out to the light, so.
Yeah, that's huge.
Steve, do you mind if I ask a question?
Yes, yep, go ahead.
Or you
I'm done, yeah.
Okay.
She's gonna turn into zoning chair now.
No, I'm definitely not. The Lone Street and the changes to Lone Street where they intersect.
Yeah.
Is there anything there other than the DPW that will work on that? Or there's no easement?
So you bring up a good point.
Or anything like that? I know there's the access point.
I think, you mean the Lone Street cut through, the
Yeah,
connector?
you know how it's gonna be all reconfigured there?
Yeah, it's going to actually come to not really, I'd say, I guess it's kind of a four-way intersection when you think about it, right there. It's going to be a perfect 90, not quite a 90 degree, a little bit less than a 90 on one side, a little more, I should say more than a 90 on one side, because we figure the traffic's going to be primarily coming across and going out, not going up to the property in the back. So yes, there's going to be a four-way intersection here. This was designed in such a way that would allow the big trucks from the DPW to go in and out of there without having to make a hard stop turn kind of thing. But they're going to have to turn here. It's a hard stop turn. There's no other way to do it. Because the way the traffic, I'm no traffic expert, but you don't want these big trucks fading into a road like an on-ramp.
Yeah.
You want them to have to stop, look both ways, and then turn to make that turn safer. But you bring up another good point. So over on the Lone Street side where we had to give up that land back to the town, that's been a problem with trucks going over it right now because we just can't maintain it. The big trucks just can't make the turn and the 18-wheelers drag the rear wheels across it. So we're trying to figure out what's going to happen to that after this, what we think we could do with it, or, you know, because I envision there's probably going to be a point where, by the way, Greg Guimon is the one that hatched this plan, by the way. I'm not taking pride in authorship in this. He's the one that sketched out. He did.
Yeah,
he's the one that came to us when we were doing the signal, and he's like, he had this basically like a red marker all over the thing. He's like, I want to do this. And I was like, what? You know, that was a heavy lift, you know. I'm trying to get
Connecting it across is a no-brainer. It just makes perfect sense, so that's great.
But that little bubble at the bottom where Lone Street elbows, I think that what's going to happen at some point is Greg's probably going to propose cutting that off, like cutting the Lone Street access to Plain Street off altogether right there. And then we just probably have to figure out how to put a turnaround so that the motorcycle shop and the Lone Street connector, it'll be down far enough so they can still access and go out, you know what I mean, that way. So it'll probably have to be in that area. Maybe a little cul-de-sac or a turnaround, something a fire truck has to get around because you can't leave it so that you couldn't make the turns. But that's what I would envision down in there, almost like I guess I call it a reverse cul-de-sac because it comes towards Plain Street.
I just wanted to know if it was getting like phase 3, you know, like this is, where does that,
Yeah, I think,
you know what I'm saying?
I think that's, I would
Not that we're in
say, I wouldn't
phases,
say,
but I feel
yeah.
like you said you're 75%, so you
I would
must
say
be
that would be phase 2 from this plan. Like, once we get this plan approved, right, and then, and we get the DOT to approve the light, that's the time I think we would revisit. I think that would be an appropriate time to revisit, how do we deal with the Lone Street that connects to Plain Street now? Like, what do we do there? And that's actually, it's town and the motorcycle land, I think, because we've already given you that big elliptical shape. You probably can do it within that. So it might just be simply the town doing what they want,
Right.
But actually, Lone Street is a private way, so we'll likely need the other people with rights in that way to give them up or abandon them in order to, shut that off.
Chairman, may I comment here? Sure. So, I think all that's in front of us is granting Attorney Guard the authority to file a site plan.
Exactly.
I certainly am not qualified to go into traffic details, where light should be, how angles
Yeah.
of roads should be.
You-
So
You underestimate your abilities, Mr. Kilcoyne.
If I spend enough time on it, perhaps, but
Yeah.
not tonight.
Well, I was just giving,
So
I
it-
wanted to just give you like a quick
understand?
synopsis so you knew what you were allowing me to file for, that's all. I'm not, there's many more steps for you to grant the things that we talked about.
Correct.
Yeah.
We're just giving the authority to file.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
So, I think that's a pretty easy one.
Yes, did I make it too complicated?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it was good to have the context and the background, so when people ask, we can now explain it back to them.
I'm accused of that often.
It wasn't complicated, but I think it's pretty straightforward what we have in front of us.
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, would you like me to make the motion? You want to make a motion on this?
I'll just make sure, Lynn, do you have any more comments or
I don't.
questions?
I
Sure.
don't. I mean, I have a million, but no.
You want to jump back on the
Not tonight.
zoning board for me? or-
Not tonight. Not tonight.
All right, so I can go ahead and make the motion. All right, here we go. So I'm going to make a motion to authorize Attorney Steve Gard to file site plan approval application for signalization at 985 Plain Street. Is there a second?
I would second that.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
That's it.
Thank you for sharing.
We're going to be here soon.
Nice to hear
We're
it's
gonna be here-
moving along.
Oh, I'm
You
thrilled.
know?
Yeah, I'm thrilled.
Hey, can
Yeah.
you work on summer?
Summer?
3A, please.
Summer in 3A. I don't know.
That's a-
Send me the people.
That is,
Figure it out. No, I'm
Mine is sites
thrilled.
like
We made this
15
commitment.
Oh, yeah, you design when you look back.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
We made
You
this
got the hill,
commitment.
the
and
curve, the trees.
I will say, the last thing I will say is that, my client made this commitment and he really wants to follow through.
Yeah, because
We
he's stuck
just-
with it for
We're
a
not
long
giving
time.
up.
Yeah.
We're not going to give up. So thank you very much.
Have a
Get the
nice
big,
night.
until you get the big green light?
What's that?
Sorry, it's a joke. You're not gonna give up till you get the big green light.
That's it. Well, I usually just say the phone because, dog, I guess.
See you, Steve.
Thank you.
Ned, I assume you're here for the mountain bike?
Correct.
Awesome, so come on up. Or you can stay where you are, it doesn't matter.
Well, I think there's no one else here. Might as well,
Yeah.
So I just, thank you for taking us tonight. Want to introduce Jeff.
I'm Jeff Wilson,
Jeff
26
Wilson.
Noel Road.
And Jeff is a resident. He coaches his daughter in a mountain bike program.
Yeah, I'm a New England youth cycling coach. And our team is
Pleasure to meet
Wampatuck
you, Mr.
Warriors.
Wilson.
So Marshfield belongs to, they have like different regions in that group. So hang on, so we practice out of there. But
Jeff has been helping out a lot on the trails, clearing them, and he's, like you said, he's a member of the NEMBA, New England Mountain Bike Association, as well as the Friends of Wampatuck State Park, and is two things that we're working with Jeff. One is some volunteers helping, as well as volunteers from St. Christine's Church, to create a new trailhead off their parking lot into the woods at the Furnace Brook watershed.
Oh, so people don't have to
Connect-
walk down 3A anymore?
Yeah, it's a little dangerous there, and
you pop out. It's like,
and
Sorry to interrupt you, Ned.
church members approached me on it, and Jeff and a couple other folks that are with the Friends of Wampatuck and New England Mountain Bike Association, we took a look at the proposed trail, and Ron Coolidge, who's the facilities manager at the St. Christine's, kind of had a spot that he thought it might work. There's a little stream we need to go across. It can connect to an existing red trail, and then the church also wants to work with us, so we want to work with them to develop a loop trail, so you can go from the parking lot in and around. Jeff's group is willing to help out with that.
Yep.
And they're also looking to have a bike race in the fall. And this Friday, Jeff and I and Bill Grafton from Conservation are going to take a look at the Furnace Brook Watershed, the area that we're looking to create a footbridge to go across, as well as the proposed route for the mountain bike race. And Jeff can clearly give you more information on how that would work than I can.
So the mountain bike race would be, we'd have to get permission from Ames to park there. I imagine it's gonna be a smaller one. It'd be I think the first time Marshfield ever had a mountain bike race, if I'm not mistaken. So you'd have the juniors, so the kids like 5th to 8th grade, and you'd have, the adult races, Cat 2, Cat 1. There's gonna be no pros. The trails we'll be using are already there existing. So I gave Bill a map. So Bill has the map of the trails I want to use. I think it's 3.2 miles. So it'll be a short track with different laps, like the juniors might do 1 lap, and the Cat 2 will do 2, the Cat 3 will do 3 or 4. Cat 1, sorry. Yeah. And then the juniors, but I have volunteers to help and all that. We'll have to contact the police, the fire, aware of that, and Ames to get permission to park. But no one would be, to cross over, no one would be going up the road, even though it's a dead end. I mentioned it to John Wilson at the end there, and he didn't have no problem with it. But I think we'd send everyone in the side trail and then take the trail, because the race would start beyond the gate, up probably about 400 or 500 feet away from any houses and stuff. So once the races are over, then we'll have people just packing up and going. So there's no one's bugging residents or anything like that. Yeah. And
Yeah, I think it's a great improvement. It's a great idea.
And try to get the team and the youth out there. I don't even think Marshfield has like a youth, anything like that, recreational youth. Because I see it online, like I'll see things like, oh, kids want to ride this and that, but right now I'm so involved in this until June 19th is the last race. So we just raced in Rutland, Mass, and the team's in 3rd place overall, which is good because we went with a smaller group of kids and we're like, oh no, we're going to lose 3rd place. But a bunch of us kids got on the podium, and so we were able to hold 3rd place with a smaller group where the other teams had bigger, so they can get more points. We're like, uh-oh. But 3 of our females and a couple of our males got on the podium, so.
Awesome, that's huge.
It worked. Yeah, my daughter, she races too, and she can get on the podium, but she got some good points. She placed well.
Yeah, there you go.
Not quite there, but she's there. I got her there. She was like, I don't like that place, because a Boy Scout troops had rode through the tape and they got lost, and she ended up climbing like 1,200 feet in like 6 miles or something.
So they didn't get
so
there.
She's just like, she remembers hills, a lot of hills.
There was no navigation merit badge given out that day?
I don't know what happened. There's usually supposed to be adults on the course. Like,
Yeah.
I know I've been course marshal, and I would catch that, in my head. I'd tape that up, and I'd be sending the kids, make sure if anyone went through to get them right away. But the kids almost came, they rode like the whole other adult course and back up.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So she remembered, that's all she remembered of it. So.
Perfect.
But yeah, it's all for good to get the kids outside, and I have pictures of the kids just outside interacting and playing. They're not like in their phones and knowing they're actually having fun with each other. It's like, oh my God, it's like old days, And I also volunteer to cook, so we have a little budget for food. So I bring burgers, turkey, all kinds of things, hot dogs. One time I forgot the hot dogs. I never heard the end of that. Kids razz me all the time. Do you have the hot dogs this time? Do you have the ketchup? Because one time I forgot the ketchup. Who wants a hot dog without ketchup? I'm like, I never put ketchup on a hot dog, but I guess all the kids do. Anyways, but yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's a good payoff because the kids really come along good. Our kids on our team, we had a small team, but it was good to see them, like, they're running up cheering the other one that's racing on while they're just finished their race or before they raced, and they're running to the other side, and they're like, some of them are doing laps. Oh no, Bella lost her bottle, and like they're running through the woods trying to get her a bottle of water.
Yeah.
So they're very supportive group, and when the racer comes in, we have one that races 3 laps. He's a young 13-year-old, but he was sweating pretty bad. They go over, they grab his bike, and they, as the races come out, the kids bring the bike back to the tent. So it's pretty good. They just like this year it started to come together more, and we're kind of just watching it. I mean, we do say, hey, come on, let's go do the team. But they kind of doing it automatically now.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool to see them interact and talking, and there's no phones or electronics, and there's no one's whining. They're all smiling, having a good time. And we do have an ER doctor on our team, he was taking some great pictures and stuff. I have some as well. But it was good to have that, and seeing the kids having a good time and stuff. Everyone was like, wow, that's great.
Yeah, that's huge.
So it's worth it. I mean, it's a lot of work for me. I'm kind of worn out from yesterday.
Yeah.
But, driving out there, and then I had to take another team member because he didn't have a ride, but we needed the points, so we need him.
Yeah.
I'm like, Victor, we need you.
Yeah.
He wanted to go. He's very competitive, and he's a good kid. They're all
Yeah.
good kids. So.
That's awesome. Do you have any comments or questions, Jim?
Yeah, I do. First of all, I think this is, make note that you've already got a kind of backing of the Conservation Commission.
Correct, we've been through the Conservation
And
Commission.
you have recreational trails as
Yes.
well, so those are two big people to support it. If you have their support, I mean, that goes a long way as far as I'm concerned. Second, I think this is a great way to increase the utilization of that great resource we have out there. It's and at the same time, be able to, get kids out of their phones and doing exercising and building on your sport. We have had some problems out there, you may or may not know.
Yeah, we do.
Illegally built trails, so I think.
We reported that, yeah.
Yeah.
We're the ones who reported that. I'm part of NIMBA, so we reported that. Steve Cobble, the NIMBA president, called me. I'm like, no, I don't know about it. Let me go check it out.
Yeah, no, I do remember that, so.
Yeah,
So I think having your presence there, increased presence, because I know you're part of maintaining the trails and making sure you have this access is important to this group. So, you guys can help be our eyes and ears out there to make sure that the areas that are vulnerable are not hurt, and the other areas are free to everyone have a blast with.
Yeah, that was the worst trail I ever see built. I called Steve after. I'm
through
like, it
wetlands,
goes right into the wetlands, and it's like,
Yeah, I know.
who built this?
They go illegal.
I
So
couldn't wait
those
to
are
get
my
off it. I
only
remember riding it
comments. So
once.
I think that's, I think it's a net plus all the way around.
Any comments or questions? Lynn?
No, I'm looking forward to seeing what you got and all those kids out there. Be
Oh
good.
yeah, I got pictures of just from the races. You can see the kids interacting.
Good.
It's really good. You can see the girls go get Dylan's bike and they're pushing over and they're all talking and
Yeah.
whatever
What
they're
if the
talking.
weather's bad?
I'm sorry.
So you
what?
have it on October 2nd. Do you have a
I was
rain
looking
date?
at October 2nd. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like
We'll figure it out
probably
later.
10 to 2.
Yeah.
It'll probably be a smaller one for the first one, but I'm hoping it will
Okay.
become like an annual thing.
Good.
And it probably never grow out of control. I mean, there's hills there, so people ain't gonna be like, oh, I want to go ride that, because every time I post a ride on Nimba, not too many people show up because those hills in there, some of them are grinders. You gotta pedal
Yeah.
up. I mean, I'm used to them because I'm
Yeah.
there, and
All right, well, thank you.
yeah,
Perfect.
Good luck.
All right, so I'll make a motion to approve the request from the NEMBA mountain bike race in Carolina Hill on October 2nd, 2022 from 10 a.m. till 2:30 p.m. pending sign off for the Marshfield Police Department and the Marshfield Fire Department. The Conservation Commission has voted to approve this event on Carolina Hill because the land is under their jurisdiction. There's their second.
I would second that.
All those in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
thank you.
Super.
That's it.
Thanks,
Thanks
guys.
very much. Take
Yeah,
care.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, the town historian know that's our first mountain bike race in Marshfield.
Yeah, I'm trying to get more of the juniors in than adults to,
Yeah, it's still they're building good character, the kids in the program.
Yeah, I mean, I have pictures on my phones. You'd be surprised, like, there was 500 and some kids, so it's 33 teams, and we're in third place. And we went there with a small group, and it's like, oh, we got to pull it off.
Yeah.
And then one of the fathers, he's like, I did the worst thing for Bella. What he did is she has electric shifting.
Yeah.
And he hits the light on the derailleur and it turns green. I said, well, she's like, I broke my shifter. I'm like, you didn't check the battery on that, did you? He goes, no, why is it? I was like, yeah, there's a button underneath.
Yeah.
And it was dead. So she had to pedal up this hill, up to high tensions, and it was real hot, and she came up in top gear. I told him, I said she got first place. She finished in top gear, and she beat out these two girls that are, it's a pretty big sport. So these two girls are actually sponsored by like Trek and stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, they're probably, these girls are young, and they're probably getting paid like 20 grand a year.
Damn.
Getting free bikes and everything. Like, our kids ain't getting that, but they probably could. They're part of AP, which is Alec Petro
Yeah.
Development. You know about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's there. So she's part of that group too,
Awesome.
as well as racing. We have a few AP kids.
Perfect.
All right.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys coming in.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, have a good rest of your
Thank
night. Thanks for all your work with the kids. All right, so next we'll tackle item number 1.
One, we're going to one.
Discussion and vote on board/committee liaison. So just kind of going through this, I tried to give both of you some kind of familiar challenges and new challenges. I think you guys are both up to the task, and hopefully you find your assignments interesting. So I'll just read right through them quickly and then go into a motion. So on the ADA committee, we've got Jim Kilcoyne. Advisory board, Jim Kilcoyne. That should be a fun one. Agricultural commission, Jim Kilcoyne. Airport Commission, Steve Darcy. Capital Budget Committee, Lynn Fidler. Community Preservation Committee, Steve Darcy. Conservation Commission, Steve Darcy. Council on Aging, Jim Kilcoyne. Cultural Council, Lynn Fidler. Energy Committee, Steve Darcy. Historical Commission, Lynn Fidler. Housing Partnership, Lynn Fidler. Library Trustees, Lynn Fidler. Open Space Committee, Steve Darcy. The PPI Committee, formerly the Coastal Advisory, Lynn Fidler. Recreation Commission, Jim Kilcoyne. We can get a little mountain bike program going.
Yeah.
Recreation Fields Committee, Jim Kilcoyne. Recreation Trails Committee, some good synergy there, Jim Kilcoyne. Waterways Committee, Steve Darcy. And Zoning Board of Appeals, very foreign territory for Lynn Fidler. All right, so I will make a motion to approve the liaison appointments as I've just read them aloud. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, perfect. All right, are we keeping John Nash here late, Michael, for the ARPA for the IT stuff, or no?
He's all, I can go through it if he's not here, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Oh,
All
he's
right.
on, he's right there
He's on
anyways, yeah.
Zoom.
Okay. Oh, he drew the short straw tonight, and Jay's home. All right, so we'll just do number 3. Discussion and vote on an application for an annual common vic license for Cam Fan Pizzeria. Michael, you just want to give us a quick rundown on that one?
Yes, so this is a business that's going in where the Riva Pizza business was in Library Plaza. And they want to operate Monday through Sunday from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. And they're hoping to get the approval of the board so they can get their business up and running.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Any questions or comments, Jim?
I don't. Seems very straightforward.
John listens. Lynn, do you have any questions or
I
comments?
do not.
All right, great. So I will go ahead and make a motion to approve the common vic license for Cam Fan Pizzeria, Heather Richards, to be located at 1849 Ocean Street, Unit 5. Hours of operation Monday through Sunday from 10 a.m. till 9 p.m. Pending sign-off from the Board of Health, the Building Department, and that the property taxes are paid. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right, all's in favor?
Aye.
All right, number 4, discussion and vote on application for an annual common vic license for Bungalow Kitchen and Catering. Michael, you want to give us a quick rundown on that one?
So Bungalow Kitchen and Catering is going into 1899 Ocean Street in Unit Q. It was the former Hong Kong Chinese restaurant, and Anne Marie has been catering for quite a while. She was looking for a location to expand her business. I don't know if she's up there. There she is right there. If I told her to tune in because the chairman may want to ask about menu options and things that she serves.
Do you want to take the floor, Anne Marie, and tell us what you're cooking up there?
You have to unmute.
You're muted.
Anne Marie, you have to unmute. Or we have to unmute her.
She's looking now. No.
Is it us, John?
It might be on our end, Anne Marie. Give us 1 minute. Let's see.
She says she's unmuted on her end.
Yeah, because I don't see the red line through the red microphone, so it might be us.
You want to try it? Can you say something?
Hello? Yes. Perfect. There we go. All right. I can read lips, but I just, didn't feel like challenging myself tonight, so we wanted to.
I'm from Rhode Island. The accent is hard to read sometimes. So I'm planning on doing just some really casual takeout food, soups, salads, sandwiches, quiche frittata muffins, and all of that will be translated to catering. So you could call us up in the morning and get a tray of sandwiches to have a retirement party for somebody in your office, and we'll have them ready in a couple hours for you. There'll be mini versions of what we're kind of serving every day, along with some grab-and-go things like mac and cheese on Mondays and tacos on Tuesday and that kind of thing.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Very delicious. Does your dog get first dibs on any appetizers or leftovers?
No, he gets last dibs. Last dibs. I got 2 kids who are in front of the line there.
He's making a nice little cameo in the background, so I just wanted to say hello.
It's his yard. I'm just interloping for a minute here.
After how dark it is all winter, you got to enjoy the sunlight when it's coming out still at 8 p.m., so you got to enjoy it.
It's much cooler out here than it is in my house too.
There you go. Did you have any questions or comments, Jim?
I did not. Very straightforward. Look forward to your business.
Anything?
All set? Yep.
All right. So I'll make a motion to approve the common vic license for Bungalow Kitchen, Anne Marie Robichaux, to be located at 1899 Ocean Street, Unit Q. Hours of operation Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday to Sunday, 8 a.m. till 2 p.m., pending sign-off from the Board of Health, the building department, and the property taxes are paid. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we look forward to it, Anne Marie. Thank you.
Yes, thanks, Emery.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody.
All right, John, you're up, man. Number 5.
All right. So I'm just here to answer any questions you, lady and gentlemen, you have about. I tried to spell the whole request out in my little write-up here.
Yeah.
And it's federal money. We're not going to turn down free money, so we got some stuff we need, so we might as well get it.
Yeah. It seems like every week there's a new cyber attack in the news. So
There sure is, almost every day. So we got to try to get ahead of some of that.
Yeah. Definitely appreciate how thorough you were in your write-up, too. So I don't have any questions for you. What about you,
Perfect.
Jim?
I think it's great you bring it forward, John. This, definitely, we need this protection.
Yes.
We don't want to be ransomed.
No, we do
Our
not.
town finances locked down.
Nope.
So, yeah, let's get it done.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely cheaper than paying ransom. And just for the record, we have been attacked by ransomware before, and we did not pay.
Excellent.
We're not negotiating with terrorists in
And
this
Mr.
town.
Chairman, if I may, John does a great job in his team of making sure we have redundancy. Everything's backed up. We have, John works to make sure that people are taking their training. I think I'm behind maybe on one training, but we send training exercises out that people have to participate in so that they can recognize that email's wrong, because, people look and sometimes you'll get an email.
Looks so close.
It just looks so close. It's like a friend of yours.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
take it out of your Rolodex on the computer.
Yeah.
But when you look, the email makes no sense. You can tell right away that there's something wrong.
Yep.
So it forces you to have full eye on the whole line.
Yeah, I got an email from John Nash with an H this week and clicked on it and gave him my social and my credit card number. Was that a bad idea?
You have to take my training, Steve. That's not
Send
good.
them. We'll have to get them on the list.
Yeah, I'll add you to my list.
Did you have any questions or comments, Lynn?
I don't. IT is my friend, right?
We like to be.
That was my opening statement.
Yeah, you got to be friends with IT.
That's right. Do not piss off IT.
Nope.
Bad enemies to have.
Yeah, no, it's
No, but
great.
I appreciate it. No, we
Work.
thank you. We do everything we can, day in, day out, weekends, nights. We're here to support.
Awesome. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
All right, so I'll make a motion to approve IT's request for NEU/ARPA funds in the amount of $102,300 to fund the cybersecurity upgrades that will include 2-factor authentication, switch upgrades, high-power workstations, user access switch upgrade, and laptop and desktop replacements. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you
John.
very much.
Bye.
Have a good night.
You too.
Protected.
Always try.
Thank you, John.
All right, perfect. We're on to number 8, and I just don't want to repeat the names twice, so I'll just say that I reviewed the list and it looks good. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
We're on 8.
Yep, Harbor Master.
Talking about the returning harbor masters? No, I've reviewed this. I don't have any questions on that at all, or on the new assistant.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
And Mr. Chairman, if I may, when you do the motion,
Yep.
Mike DeMayo, I called him because you'll see where it says new assistant harbor masters. He had the date 2021, 2022, when it should be 2022, 2023 to be consistent with the top one.
Perfect, awesome. Thanks for calling attention to that. Alrighty, so I'm going to make a motion to approve the following Assistant Harbor Masters. First, we have the returning Assistant Harbor Masters for 2022-2023. We have Richard Rodwell as First Assistant Harbor Master and Shellfish Constable. We have John Doyle, Christian Cataldo, Charles Matter, Stephen Merrick, Daniel Kane, Matthew Murphy, Ian Scholes, Colin Costello, Michael Devon, Josh Thompson, and Jason Dernier. And then second portion of that list is the new Assistant Harbor Masters for 2022-2023. And we have Brian Caswell, John Sylvester, Henry Nick Query, and Christian Shee. Is there a second?
A second.
You just add this
Uh,
name.
Mr. Chairman.
Yep. Oh, hey, what's up, Phil? Sorry, Chief.
Sorry about that.
just a little discussion before you actually make the vote.
Yeah.
I was hoping that because of the new police reform laws, that you could make the appointment contingent upon the fact that their powers will be restricted. They won't have powers of arrest under Chapter 90B.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks for covering us on that end, Phil. We appreciate it. All right, so...
Can I make a quick comment with the chief of that? Chief?
Sure.
Yes.
I think you just might have missed his name.
Oh, perfect.
I know there's changes and there's nothing really we can do about
Good
it.
catch, Lynn. Thank you.
Does that
Kyle would've been
hamper our harbor
unemployed.
master's ability in any way?
No, I don't believe so. To my knowledge, as long as we've been supervising the harbor masters, they've never made an arrest. However, under Chapter 90B, everything on the water is arrestable, and they are granted that authority. But because of the 129-page new police reform law, those law enforcement agencies that have the ability to make arrests have to follow through and comply with the police reform law, which would require them to go to a full-time academy. Which
That's
they
impossible. That's impossible for these two.
Yeah, I'm
these
glad you
people.
were reading
Okay,
that
I just wanted to make sure the public understood that and why that was happening. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Phil. So I'll make a motion to approve the list of names I just read, and then with the addition of Kyle Scholes, who I skipped over. I got his brother Ian, but not Kyle, so we didn't want to create a sibling rivalry there, so we'll add Kyle Scholes to the list and make it contingent upon the fact that these folks will not have the powers of arrest, just to protect the town liability-wise. Is there a second?
I will second that.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, is that satisfactory, Chief?
That's excellent. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the support.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
All right, awesome. We are on to action item number 9, which is discussion and vote on renewal of an earth removal permit for Biagini Inc. And I think, Michael, this sounds like it's an annual thing that we do.
Yes, this is. So the Biagini family have been operating, this is on Ames Way, parcel B and C, and they've been operating there since 1950. They use it solely for their own business. And they comply with all the regulations. You'll see in your packet, they have the certificate of insurance, naming the town and indemnifying us. They also comply with the Board of Health on, they have to constantly check where the water table is and stuff like that. So they're in full compliance.
Awesome. Thanks, Michael. Do you have any questions or
No
comments?
questions or comments on this?
Any questions or comments, Lynn? All right, so I'll make a motion to approve the earth removal permit for Biagini Inc. for lots B and C on Ames Way, subject to the previous conditions approved at the Select Board meeting on May 10th, 2021. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, number 10, it is a discussion and vote on changes to ZBA membership. So effectively, what we're looking to do and discuss and vote on is appointing Chris Belezos as a full member. He's currently an associate. And we're also looking to make a new appointment to have Mark Corwin be an associate member. So, Jim, do you have any questions or comments?
No, I think it's great. Actually, you have associate members for a board as important as this, so they get up to speed. You know, they're already up to speed. So, no, I think that's great, and I'm sure they're very well qualified.
Yeah, it's a good point because it helps fill vacancies too when they come up very quickly. So that's a good point. Lynn, this is right in your wheelhouse. Did you want to weigh in at all? And
No, I support this, both candidates. Chris has been great, so I look forward to hearing all the great things he does with this board, so I hope he stays a long time, and the new associate member is also going to be a nice addition to this board.
Awesome. All right.
Yep, so I'm in favor.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to make a motion to approve the appointment of associate member of the ZBA, Chris Belezos, as a full member to fill the unexpired vacancy caused by Lynn Fiddler being elected to the Select Board. Is there a second? It does.
I will second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And I will make a second motion to appoint Mark Corwin as an associate member of the ZBA to fill the unoccupied position caused by Chris Belezos being elevated to full member, which was caused by Lynn Fiddler being elected to select board. I added that. That part I added, but is there a
Everyone's
second?
a comedian.
Mr. Chairman.
I'm going to have to step up my game. You guys are funny.
Thanks. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, perfect. Sorry to keep you waiting, Mark. I would have bumped that up. I should have checked the
Sorry,
Zoom
Mark.
audience,
Hi.
too.
Where are you? Nice to see you. There you are. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for stepping up. All right, number 11 is a discussion and vote on a new appointment to the Agricultural Commission. Delia DeLongchamp. I don't have any questions or comments. You, Jim?
No, it's a great commission. We work closely with them to open up Monsters Meadow with the Conservation Commission. This is great.
Awesome. Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No?
All right, perfect. So I'm going to make a motion to approve the appointment of Delia Delanchamp to the Agricultural Commission to fill the vacancy caused by the resignation of Carlton Chandler. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so a discussion and vote on a request to use the Avon Street parking lot for the Molly Fitzgerald Memorial Fund. No one has an issue with this. Michael, do you want a quick rundown on the event and all that good stuff?
Sure, just as folks know, we have the Molly Walk on Father's Day, and this year it will be the 19th. On Friday night, the 17th, is the sponsors' dinner, so people write out there's different levels of sponsorship. Tim Tedeschi is a great supporter. His house is over there on Bay Avenue, so he hosts a event that we have over there, and folks coming so that they're not double parking on the streets in Duxbury. They request to use the Avon Street lot. And for full disclosure, even though I'm not voting, I'll just disclose that I am a member of the Board of Directors of the Molly Fund. So,
Awesome. Thanks, Michael. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
I don't. Seems to make perfect sense.
I have no questions.
All right,
We're
perfect.
hoping for nice weather.
Yeah, we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I'll make a motion to approve the parking request by the Molly Fitzgerald Memorial Fund for Friday, June 17th, 2022, to use the Avon Street parking lot from 6 p.m. till 11:30 p.m. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, number 13, it is a discussion and vote on an application for an annual peddler's license for Away Cafe LLC and Nona's Homemade. Michael, can you give us a quick rundown on that one?
yes, so the first one, David Erickson, Away Cafe LLC, is a food truck, and he's looking to operate it in Marshfield, in and around the fairgrounds, from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. He puts down flea markets, levitate, and other events that will take place in that area. So, he's hoping to get approval from the board, pending sign off from the appropriate agencies.
Awesome. Thanks, Michael. Any questions or comments, Jim?
None.
Any questions or comments, Lynn? All right, so I will make a motion to approve the peddler's license for Away Cafe LLC, David Erickson, for a food truck with hours of operation Monday through Sunday from 6 a.m. till 4 p.m., pending sign-off from the Marshfield Fire Department, and that property taxes must be paid. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And I'll make a second motion to approve the peddler's license for Nona's Homemade Ice Cream mobile truck, Kristen Donahue, with hours of operation Monday through Sunday from 9 a.m. till 11 p.m., pending sign-off from the Marshfield Fire Department, and that property taxes must be paid. Is there a second?
I will second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, so number 14, a discussion and vote on application for a one-day wine and malt license for Stellwagen Beer Company, and it's just for an event at the Green Harbor Lobster Pound on May 31st, 2022. I don't have any questions or comments. Jim, do you have any questions or comments?
The Marshfield Police Department requested. Okay, it's just a parking comment from the Marshfield Police Department. No further questions.
Okay, awesome. Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No.
All right, so I will make a motion to approve the one-day wine and malt license for Michael Snowdale of Stellwagen Beer Company for an event at the Green Harbor Lobster Pound located at 131 Beach Street for May 31st, 2022 from 3 p.m. till 8 p.m. And the Marshfield Police Department has requested to cut off the walking area for patrons inside and to make sure that there will be sufficient parking attendance for the area. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, number 15, it is a discussion and vote on a request for the extension of a permit to use an accessory building as temporary housing at 566 Carswell Street. Michael, can you give us the background on that one?
Yes, so they have a secondary structure there. I believe it's a barn, if I remember correctly, and it's just like a house. So the board was, they're doing some remodeling. Building commissioner signed off that because the barn meets the standards, it has, hot water, it meets the sanitary code, and they've been using that. The construction, like everyone else's construction project, is running way behind, and they're asking the board to extend for another 6 months through December 31st, the use of that secondary structure.
Awesome. Thanks, Michael. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
I voted for it the first time. I see no reason to say no in the extension.
Fair enough. Lynn, do you have any questions or comments? All right, so I will make a motion to approve the extension of a permit request for temporary housing at 566 Carswell Street to use an accessory building through December 31st, 2022. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, and our last action item is a discussion and vote on a $50 fee for the floodplain permit. So I know about 2 months ago, I think the board at the time was looking for some background and context for the justification for that fee, Michael. So do you mind giving us kind of the background and process?
Sure. As folks remember, our building commissioner was in here, made a presentation, put together, actually his software is being looked at by a number of other communities to be able to do that, because anyone that lives by the water is faced with the same type of situation we have. So he put the software together, but the thing with the software is that it's not just simple someone sitting there. It requires a number of visits to the property to view along the process. So even though people's salaries are covered, when you have things like this, I mean, it's like the ambulance fee. We charge a fee to drive people to and from the hospital, even though the firefighters and the paramedics are already being paid, but it's to cover the cost of the services. And the building commissioner identified that the $50 is, a minimum amount of money to be able to, just really recoup. It's a significant permit process. It's pages and pages of documentation. Quite honestly, when he first explained it to me in the concept, it was just like mind-boggling until he was able to put it together. And what I had suggested to him is I'm hoping that with that new technology now, that we evolve that into the general permit process for construction of homes and things like that. Because what's nice about it, a lot of stuff's left for chance. As you saw from the floodplain when he did that permit, what I liked about it was the pull-down box. As soon as you put a particular answer, another box popped up, and then you had to answer that question. What happens is, when people apply for building permits, it becomes very challenging and very daunting. They don't know, do I need to go to ZBA? I have a non-conforming structure. As soon as you put that down, bingo, you might have to go to the ZBA to get that. I'm on a wetland, as Mr. Kilcoyne would know. Okay, I got to go for the Conservation Board to get approval, different things like that. So it's a long, involved process. I think it's a reasonable fee for the building commissioner to charge, and if the board approves it, they'll charge it, and the money will come in and go to the general fund and help defray some of the building costs.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. I think this is very exciting because one thing our residents have been asking for years is a roadmap for the projects they want to do, so we can finally deliver that, where they're not bouncing around a million different times at various departments. They know what they need, the process to go through, and then where they are in real time. So I think we made a significant investment in this improved process, and you were kind of detailing how it helps to cover the cost to carry out the inspections. And I think it'll probably save our residents time and money because it's going to minimize the back and forth and kind of chasing your tail sometimes, because it's a much more streamlined, organized process. So appreciate the background explanation, Michael. Did you have any questions or comments, Jim?
I do.
Awesome.
I don't understand how this is on our agenda. On March 14th, we heard this, so this has nothing to do with actually the program, although the program's a good program. I think it does talk about all that. This is specifically regarding a fee again, when on March 14th, so April 14th, less than 5 weeks ago, this board unanimously said no to a fee. We already have a lot of fees. This is a fee to pay fees. As a matter of fact, the current vice chair, both voted no.
Well, there may have been a clerical error, but I abstained from the vote, so it was a 2-0.
Well, the record says unanimous.
Okay.
Vote was unanimous.
We can fix that. But basically, right, that was a different board. We have a new board now, and the chair sets the agenda, so that's why it's back to answer that question.
So I just don't want to go back and forth, so you just asked my thoughts. I don't understand, when we just took a vote a month ago, why we're taking a vote again when there was a majority vote. It seems like someone's not happy with the vote, so we got a new board, so we're going to do another vote. I don't think that's the way we should be doing things. So I'll read into what I said before. I still stand by that. Our citizens pay enough in fees. The goal of this program was to streamline it. Our citizens actually do this program, not the town. They have to go online and do it themselves. And so you're going to charge them a fee so they can go in with pop-up windows, to tell them how much fees they have to pay to get through the process. I love the fact that we're helping them get through the process, but now we're going to charge them a fee so they can do it themselves. So I said that when people make improvements to their property, it is often very expensive. And the property values go up, so the town makes money from that. And the taxes go up. They also pay a lot of fees to be able to have their property value go up and improve their property in the town. I don't think we should be paying a floodplain permit in addition to all the other permitting fees that our homeowners are required to pay to improve their private property. They're already paying a lot of fees. They're already paying, and this is not a user fee. This is a general fund tax. It's an excellent program, but I don't understand how 5 weeks after a vote saying no fee, we're having another fee. So I am not in favor of this being on the schedule or to charge a fee so our citizens can pay fees.
Okay. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for letting me say that.
You don't have to. I just don't want to cut you off. So
No.
Okay.
No,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
I'm actually saying thank you for allowing me.
Sure. Yeah.
Should be able to get through all that.
Yeah. Sure thing. Did you have anything you wanted to add, Lynn, or any questions?
I was surprised as a member of the public that the select board, didn't agree to having and vote in favor of a fee, just because the amount of, I understand that there is, the software is there for the floodplain permit, and just like any other permit, the, whoever is applying for the permit is part of the process, but it's not, it doesn't end there. It begins when the permit is submitted and the process begins. So a $50 permit for what that gives on a homeowner, the actual permit itself is something that I think that is worth a $50 fee. If I was doing a project, I would not object to a $50 fee to have that security that it's done and done correctly, and I have that permit.
Awesome. All
So
right.
that's how I feel, and I don't know why it's on the board here tonight, but that is how I feel.
Sure, yep. So I would say that, right, it was a different board then, it's a new board now, so they can kind of take things as they would like to and tackle them, and, the chair decides what goes on the agenda. So that just, as an explanation point, that's how it's on here. So I'll just go ahead and make a motion to approve the building commissioner's request for a $50 floodplain permit fee effective on Monday, May 23rd, 2022. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. All those opposed?
Opposed.
Okay. All right, and let's see. Our last item is just to approve the meeting minutes from the May 2nd, 2022 meeting. Any questions or comments, Jim?
No, on that I don't, thank you.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
Nope.
All right, so I'll just go ahead and make a motion to approve the minutes from the May 2nd, 2022 meeting. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, and I will make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
I will second that.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. All right.